Hey there guys, and welcome back to Spacebound. If you're a fan of the channel and feel like there's a chance you might have something over the rest of the people in your life, this might be the perfect video for you because we're going to take a look at some hidden signs that might just mean you are secretly a genius. Let's jump right into this one. If you don't just spend plenty of time reading because you know it's good for you, but instead actively seek out books, there's definitely a chance you're on the road for greatness.
A book enables you to think and then rethink and think and then rethink. And so you can go deeper in a book than you can, I would say, in any other medium.
That instinctive thirst for knowledge that can only truly be found across the multiple varying pages of history has been attributed to some of the greatest minds in all of humanity. While tests between readers and non-readers have shown no real effect on IQ, it's not like IQ is the be-all end-all of intelligence. In fact, what most people consider intelligence is just relearning what someone else in history already learned. The knowledge we gain throughout the years, the skills we learn, practice, and hope to master, that's where the majority of our knowledge really truly comes from as humans.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. Fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge.
That natural thirst for knowledge that comes with the most avid readers can definitely be a hint towards the true potential, being a genius.
A book is a fine thing to have in your hand and turn the pages on a summer day, but so is a Kindle. And if I'm in the car, I can listen to a book on audio. The book is not the important part. The book is the delivery system. The important part is the story and the talent.
While many people may find validation through trying to provide everyone with all of the answers all the time, it's usually the people asking those questions who end up better off.
I'm the type of person, if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I'm gonna tell you that I don't know. But I bet you what, I know how to find the answer, and I will find the answer.
This one is almost obvious with little common sense. Think about it. Compare person A, who goes about life believing everything they're told, sucking in information from a single source and assuming it to be true, versus person B, who goes out of their way to critically think about what they're being told and question it however possible. The questioning mentality is great for multiple reasons, but two big ones that have to be that: one, people questioning what's happening in front of them will almost always end up with more information than those who don't question. And two, people who question everything tend to ponder deeper than others, trying to solve the mysteries of this life we live in.
That's a big question. What is the meaning of life?
Some of the deepest, darkest truths that we've managed to uncover about Earth, the universe, and life itself come from the minds who had been questioning their basics years prior.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, welcome to the club, pal.
Another simple one to decipher with common sense would be the people who constantly challenge themselves. Life is incredibly varied. You truly have the options to do just about anything you want, and with such limitless possibilities, you think a lot of people would want to explore the vast range of options, yet countless people walking the planet today are content with pulling an average weight.
Coming to bed, honey?
Yes, dear.
For some people, waking up, clocking in, clocking out, and coming home while mixing in a few meals with bathroom breaks here and there is good enough. And while that's obviously fine, of course, that's also obviously not going to take you all that far in terms of personal advancements. The people out there who take that extra step, who purposefully put themselves in difficult, uncomfortable situations with nothing but their own skill set to get them out, will gain a type of experience the rest of the world just won't have, and will likely find themselves much better off when challenging issues come up that wasn't their own doing.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. What's your name?
Emily.
I'm Josh.
Hi.
While this one is definitely not 100%, sloppy handwriting has been attributed to some of the wisest minds in history. The common theory here goes that since your brain is so busy thinking of all those ingenious and clever ideas, your hands are naturally too slow to keep up, and so your penmanship ends up lacking so your mind can get everything it needs to on the page. While this is a nice speculation, there's not really much backing it, especially since millions of people have come and gone with sloppy handwriting that never really signaled anything.
I can't find Peralta anywhere, and you're the only one who can decipher his handwriting. He arrested that bunny, but I don't know what for. He's either a Crispy Mother Werewolf or Cowboy Mustard Oslo, Norway?
The bunny groped multiple women on the subway.
However, messiness in general has shown to be a little bit more prospect. Studies show that people who are typically a bit slobby in general tend to just not be far more creative people, but they're able to find productive uses for that creativity. One test saw that two varying types of people find as many uses for tennis balls as possible, and messy people pretty much blew the neat ones out of the water. Perhaps the fact that these messy people spend more time worrying about real problems than appearances play a factor, but whatever the underlying factor, if you find yourself with a constantly unclean room, there might just be something more to it.
Oh my gosh!
Once again, the link here is far from 100%, but some studies have shown that the kind of people that are lured into the usage of drugs and alcohol are actually smarter on average than the people who avoid it.
I was blind, but now I see.
The National Child Development Study tested and concluded that children who were more naturally intelligent are more likely to have consumed psychoactive drugs by the age of 42 than those who are not as intelligent. While most people would assume intelligent people to end up making intelligent life decisions, in reality that isn't always the case. Given how recently many of these drugs were discovered or manufactured, there's a certain evolutionary novelty to them that a majority of our ancestors haven't gotten to experience.
Are you guys on drugs?
Okay. One particle of unobtainium has a nuclear reaction with a flux capacitor. Carry the two, changing its atomic isotoner into a radioactive spider. F*** you, science.
In fact, many of the great minds we've seen over the past years suffered from addiction to drugs, from Edgar Allan Poe to Sigmund Freud, all the way to Stephen King. It seems that there might be a link between these two worlds after all. Just as Albert Einstein attributed his own incredible intellect to the childlike sense of humor, recent studies have shown that a link between being funny and being intelligent is absolutely there. One Austrian study even concluded that the interest in dark humor specifically is a great sign of intelligence, with both cognitive and emotional ability coming into play when it comes to processing the darker aspects of life and turning them into humorous situations.
Let's say you're about to do something important and you trip a little bit, and so you kind of lower yourself. You know, you laugh and other people laugh. And what you're indicating is that you can accept the fact that you're imperfect.
A common theory about the link between funny people and having high intelligence is how laughter impacts the mind. Laughing every day being good for you is no myth. Neurobiology has shown legitimate changes in the brain with enough laughter, so perhaps funny people get some of their high intelligence because they're able to make others laugh, and in turn are probably laughing a lot more themselves too.
Humor gets people to listen. It increases long-term memory retention, it improves understanding, aids in learning, and helps communicate messages.
Ever heard of the saying quality over quantity? Well, if you take a really good look at the people in your life right now, you'll quickly be able to tell which that you favor. Do you have a lot of people that are close to you that you're all right with? Or do you have only a few people close to you, but you really enjoy spending time with them? If it's the latter, then you might just have things figured out a bit more than those favoring quantity. Think about any intelligent person that you know and ask yourself which sounds more likely, them having mediocre conversations with everyone or them having exceptional and interesting conversations with the few who can actually keep up with them. The fewer people you have in your circle, the closer those relationships are likely to end up being. And finally, just for those of you out there worried your special skill won't make it onto this list, we'll end on a great note for you, because worrying itself might have a link to intelligence too. This is another one that checks out with some logic. Worrying is literally the analyzing of a situation, understanding the potential pitfalls or consequences of it, and fearing its outcome. By definition, a worrying mind is a thinking mind, perhaps even an overthinking mind, which there's nothing wrong with that. And while overthinking isn't generally associated with positivity, that's usually the stress it causes people. And fair enough, because if you have the mental capacity to weed out flaws that easily, you'd probably be a lot more stressed out too. So in short, if you're worried that you worry too much, don't worry. Because it turns out worrying just might be great for you, unless you worry about every single little thing, which in that case, you just might want to be worried about your worrying problem. Got it? It's a little bit confusing. And And with that being said, that concludes Hidden Signs That You're Probably a Genius. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. Also, comment down below if you've ever really worried about things before. Maybe it's been a little bit excessive for you. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on to never miss future awesome content like this in the future. And with that being said, I'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you, science.